What is going on, everybody? Mike Collier of Midlife Fitness. I'm here with Kelly, one of my athletes, one of my success stories. So proud of her. I can't express enough how proud I am of this woman. But I wanted her to get on here and kind of share her story with everybody. It's super exciting. Like I said, super proud of her. Couldn't say enough about it. So first of all, Kelly, thank you so much for jumping on here with me and sharing your story with everybody.
You're welcome.
Yeah. So can you kind of tell us like where you were at, why our paths crossed and like how you ended up working with me?
I had lost a lot of weight from the GLP-1. Well, I struggled for a really long time with weight loss because I don't have a thyroid and surgical menopause and all that good jazz was stacked up against me, and I was tired of starving. So I went the GLP-1 route.
Yep.
Um, Working as a paramedic on the ambulance as many hours as I was. I didn't have room for exercise and I really wasn't confident to start exercising at my weight. I was really insecure and I was like, oh, I'll lose all this weight first and then I'll
Right.
start exercising. And that was like, and I started the GLP-1 and the weight just fell off me. I didn't even have to do anything. It just literally fell off.
Yeah.
Um,
And how
and
much
then
did you
I,
lose? How much did you lose?
um, to date, I hover right around 137 pounds total.
Yeah.
But I hit my 100-pound mark at 11 months. I had lost 100 pounds at 11 months. So
Crazy.
like I said, I was on the ambulance and I was still eating Reese peanut butter cups. Granted, I could only take like a bite of one
Yeah.
because that's more appetite you had for the GLP-1. And back then, I would have told you I would have been the poster child for GLP-1s
Yep.
because I struggled with weight my entire life. I was always the chunky girl. I was always because I had a bad thyroid and I was one of those kids that didn't want to take the medication. So my thyroid played against me even more. And
Yep.
it was a huge struggle and I was tired of it. So people like there's a stigma that comes with those GLP-1s now that I took the easy way out. And some might say I did, and it felt like I did. I will say that, but the
Yeah.
recovery of it was horrible, horrible, horrible. And that's how I found you. I moved
Yeah.
to Texas, lost all the weight, and it was to the point where I lost so much muscle mass with it that I couldn't stand up without my blood pressure falling out on me and I would
Right.
pass out and I couldn't drink and I couldn't eat and I had been off the shot for months and I just couldn't. There was nothing that could make me
Well,
do
and
it.
that's
Was
that's the thing, that drug, it doesn't differentiate losing fat from muscle. You just lose all of it.
right. And
Right.
especially I wasn't moving any more than what I moved on an ambulance. And I
Yep.
was working 15-hour shifts and multiple days a week. And so it was like I had no room for exercise in my mind at that time. It
Right.
was an easy cop out, right? And
Yep.
then so that I lost that muscle mass. I wasn't eating, I wasn't drinking, I was super dehydrated. So every time I stood up, I was passing out and it was getting dangerous. And I was
Yep.
for the first time in 30 years of my career, I was so weak that I couldn't defend myself on an ambulance. And
Yep.
I got scared. And that was the first time ever that I was scared to go to my own office. And so
Not a good
that
feeling. Not a good feeling.
no, it's not. And so like I'm working up in the streets of Oklahoma City. So it was real scary, you know?
Yeah.
So like that was when I put on Facebook that I was like, hey, anybody know anybody? And you were like, duh, me. Wait, you're all the way up in Michigan. And you were like, yeah, but we can do this.
Yeah.
And here we are. This is what
Well, and
this
I
is
remember like, and I don't usually do that, like answer like things like that, but because I am a first responder, because you're a paramedic, like we're brother and sister, right? So I
right,
felt comfortable reaching out. Like I want to help everybody, but I especially have
right.
a special place in my heart for first responders. So I remember reaching out to you and I thought that you, from what it was a while ago, from what I remember, it's like you had already known like who I was and like,
Oh God, yes.
so when I reached out, you're like, oh my God, like this is, like you get it because you've lived this life, right?
Right.
But and I think I've told you this before, like so after we had our first discussion and kind of, because it's a process, like, for me to work with some people, I just don't take anybody. I'm pretty selective. So, I remember like during that process, and I think I told you this, like I almost didn't work with you because after you telling me everything that was going on and the health issues and all that stuff. Like I thought it might have been too much for me to bite
Yeah.
off. I was really like, I don't know if this is outside of my scope, of authority. And I really wasn't sure. I was really apprehensive. But I figured, you know what? It's a challenge. I think I can help her. I want to accept the challenge and away we go. So
I wanted the mic. When you reached out, I was like, oh my God, this is the guy. I can remember running calls with you on the streets in Portage
yeah.
and being like, oh yeah, this guy's going to get it. If I mess up, he's going to be on me. And that's exactly what he did, but in a friendly way, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Of
But
course.
that was what I was looking forward to, that I didn't want to have to see that Mike,
Yeah.
so and I stayed really motivated, and it was hard for me in the beginning. It was hard for me to eat. Like I struggled with eating, and the thing was the I'm gonna say it was the body dysmorphia that really kicked it into gear for me, that made me be like, oh crap. It was, I could see my bones and I
Yeah.
could see ribs, my sternum, and all of that stuff, that it was like, okay, I'm at the point where now I've got to eat. I don't know how it's got to happen.
Yep.
And it was, I'd put it in and it'd come back out. And
Right.
like that struggle for a long time. And then I got in my own head and I was thinking, oh my God, I'm anorexic, I'm bulimic. And that's what those GLP-1s almost do to you, the anorexia for sure. And some people, the nausea gets you to the point where when you're trying to come off of them, you feel like you're that bulimic and you're that anorexic. And so, like, the body dysmorphia kicks in even full blast at that point, because
Yeah.
you're already like, I still see Fat Kelly in the mirror.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
like I've got a cheap Walmart mirror, a full length mirror over here, and if you stand just right, I can get Fat Kelly in that mirror, and it's like, so that messes with my head a little bit too. But those GLP-1s are, it's a double-edged sword. You got to be real careful with them, because it did do a lot to me, not just
Yeah.
physically, but it did a lot to me mentally, where I'm not even a year out from being on them, and it's still a struggle in my head. I still
Yeah.
have to remind myself to eat every day,
Yeah.
every single day. And then it's still when I eat more than once a day, I get inside my head about, oh my God, you've ate so much today
Yeah.
already. Like, you need to slow it down. And then I'm
Yep.
like, I'll go out and work out and I'll see my muscles and I'm like, nope, go in and eat, eat, eat. And so, like, it's a huge struggle
Yeah.
every day. It's still a huge
Yeah.
struggle, but
Yeah,
it's
and it
better.
was. And it's usually the opposite, right? I'm trying to get people to eat less. I'm trying to get you to eat more
Right,
because you
right,
were eating like I remember it's like, oh yeah, I ate Tuesday. Well, okay, well it's Friday now. You
right,
need
right,
or hey, I took a sip of water today. It's like,
right.
no, like we gotta get, or you're like, I had some crackers. I'm like, no, 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 we gotta eat. We gotta eat. And that was a struggle, but you crushed it. So now like so since then, like, how are you feeling now? Like, how are you looking, your strength level, like all that stuff? Like, how has it changed?
Um, I started seeing a guy and we started hitting the gym every day.
Yeah,
So, like, to go and work out by myself, I have a whole gym set up in my garage. And to go and work out by myself, I had motivation because I got the mirrors out there and
yeah,
everything to see myself. But it was going and working out with a dude was what really, it had nothing to do with like dating him or anything. It
yeah,
was that I'm stronger than you, and I knew he was stronger than me, but by God, I'm coming for him. And that competitiveness in me, I guess, is what made me. And I did. I was pushing and pushing and pulling all kinds of weight. And then, like I told you, I just reached the goal of I'm able to push or pull more than I physically weigh now on
yep.
weights.
That's
So
amazing.
like,
That's amazing.
that was a huge goal.
Yeah. But even before that, like, so even before the guy, the boyfriend, like, you were still like, you were getting stronger.
I
You started
was.
doing jujitsu.
Yep.
I mean, you've been crushing it.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Yep.
So give yourself more credit than you are. It's not,
Oh no. Listen, he was
yeah.
just a stepping stone, okay? Just
Yes. Yeah.
a
Yeah. Yeah. There you go. There you go.
stepping. He's the one who got me the membership. We went into the gym together and got the membership together.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. I love it.
been mostly the motivation has been the competition. And
Yeah.
I'm nowhere near, I mean, like he's only pushing like 180 and I'm at 130. So, I mean, I could get him.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. I love it. No, you've done absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. So what would you so anybody like that's coming into this or that's kind of on the fence about whether or not they should like, chase goals like this, like what would be your piece of advice or what would you tell them?
If they were going to go the GLP-1 route or just
Not
in,
that, like, no, well, whether it's that, I guess even if it's that, I guess if they're thinking about doing that or they have a weight loss goal and they're kind of on the fence or they're on the fence about like reaching out to work with a coach, whether it's me or like anybody else, like what would be your piece of advice for them, if they're
just
not
do
sure
it.
to do it.
Just do it. I was
Yeah.
so scared and I had no mode. Even with the weight loss, I was still scared as ever to go in the gym and work out. But and I wanted to, but I had no idea how to.
Yeah.
And I needed that direction. And I was too insecure to go into the gym and be like, hey, help me.
Yeah.
And it was knowing you just from, Portage and all that
Yeah.
stuff. And that was motivation enough. I knew that I wasn't going to get away with saying, "Oh, sorry, I
Yeah.
couldn't today," and that kind of stuff. And it was. I did it because I didn't want to hear from you. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like that was the other motivation. And then to talk with you and have the meetings with you, it was a haha, look at me, I ate this week, or
Yeah.
Mike need help. I didn't eat this week. And there were times where I felt like, I mean, I reached out to you how many times? Like
Oh
it
yeah.
was, and it was like, man, I lost weight on the scale. I didn't like seeing that. And you
Yeah.
were like, take the fat loss. There's still
Yeah.
fat loss, but gain
Yeah.
the muscle. So,
Yeah.
but definitely, if I can do this, anybody. And I know that people, those success stories and all that stuff, they say it all the time. And I used to sit there and watch them and be like, yeah, right, whatever. Yeah, right,
Hmm.
whatever.
Hmm.
No, it's true. You can do it. If you really
Absolutely.
want it, you can do it. Ain't
Yeah.
nobody gonna do it for you. You got to do it yourself. But
Yeah.
if I can do it, anybody can.
Yeah. Yeah. And so like, you're stronger now and like what is your confidence level now at work versus the way that it was before?
Oh, I've got to struggle with some patients, and it's been
Yeah.
a little bit of fun. And knowing that confidence of knowing how to get away from things now because of the jujitsu,
Hmm.
and then just having that muscle behind it too, knowing that I'm not that weenie that I was that couldn't even lift our like stat pack up into the back of the ambulance. Like that's how weak I had gotten. So like now, I mean, I'm not I had a friend tell me the other day that I might be a little overconfident, but I, that might just be the Irish in me. I don't know, but like I definitely feel like I'm well on my way to getting my moxie back, and that feels good, and
Hell
that
yeah.
that confidence feels good.
I love that. I love
Yeah.
that. Awesome. Awesome. Well, I know this is not an end for you at all. I mean, this is just the beginning. You've just built the foundation. You're just going to keep, just like I said before, you're just going to keep raising that bar.
Heck yeah.
I love that. I love that for you. So, all right. Thank you so much, Kelly, for jumping on here. I so much appreciate you. I loved working with you. It was amazing.
Heck
So
yeah.
super proud of your progress and happy with where you're at and the way that you're feeling and just super excited to hear what else you're going to be capable of doing.
Yeah.
So, so.
Thank
All right,
you.
girl. Well, thank you so much.
Yes.
All
Thank
right.
you.
All right. We'll talk to you soon.
All right. Bye.
All right. Bye.